What's up, beautiful souls? Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Mumeanha. Feel free to call me Mina if my first name's too hard to pronounce. Be sure to hit that subscribe button, tap the little bell to be notified when I post new readings. Of course, this is a general pick a pile, pick a card reading for the collective. Only take what resonates to and for you. With that out of the way, I want you guys to close your eyes and inhale for the count of 7. Hold your breath for that same amount, and then slowly release it for that same amount. If you can't inhale for 7 seconds, then count to where you can go, and then you're going to follow that sequence. Pause the video. Allow yourself to do that a few times until you feel really grounded, centered, your mind is clear. When you open your eyes, choose which deck calls to you. Make sure you're tapping into your intuition, and of course, use your discernment throughout, but be open-minded. Whenever you come to watch any of my readings, be ready to be open-minded. Okay, and if you resonate with another pile, that's fine, but I recommend that you watch the one that pulled you first, and then anything else that resonated, watch it secondary, because it probably has some type of message for you. And without further ado, I'm going to go into pile 1. All right, pile 1, let's get into you. You chose this gorgeous stone right here. I'm going to start off with the tarot, then we're going to get into your chakra, and then a fortune cookie I'm going to channel along the way. So if some things feel a little too direct, that's just what's channeling in. If you wish to have a more personal reading, you can book that, because I don't do free personal readings, but you can book with me. We're going to start off with the tarot. See what we got going on here. We have 9 of Wands. Some of you were feeling like you had to blur yourself or blend in with a certain surrounding in order to, avoid conflict. You've been dealing with a lot of family issues, a lot of family drama. With some of you, it's with your sibling or someone that's close like a sibling, or also maybe a mother figure. Picking up on like a dominating female energy. For others, it's like a father figure. So it could be a father, older brother, or just a masculine mentor type person that has a lot of influence in your life. But you've been feeling the need to go, you know what, I'm tired of arguing, I'm tired of the back and forth, so I'm just gonna kind of like sit in the back of the class, and hopefully nobody spots me, hopefully I don't have to raise my hand, and etc. I won't get called on. That's the energy that's coming in here. What you're pretty much being led to understand is, first and foremost, you have to allow yourself to fully get to know who you are, and then feel comfortable in who you are. I feel like a lot of this conflict has something to do with people wanting to tell you what to do, and it's not for your best interest. It's just what they're used to doing, and to an extent you're used to, even if you don't necessarily follow it to a T, even if you give them a hard time about it, you cave at some point, and it's really starting to affect your energy, and it's starting to affect your environment. For others here, there's something that you're working on. You've been doing a lot of spiritual work, you've been doing a lot of mental work, but I need both of these groups to understand something. You cannot half-ass in these type of practices. I know a lot of people have a lot of different ways they do things. However, we live in where certain things are going a little too mainstream, and when that tends to, not that there's anything wrong with something becoming more knowledgeable, but unfortunately, a lot of times that means that people get caught up in thinking, okay, if I just work on my mental, I'm cool. If I just work on spirit, I'm cool. If I just work on physical, I'm cool. We're in that age right now where it can't be that kind of tit for tat. You have to work on all elements of who you are in order to really acknowledge and ascend to where you're supposed to be. So if you've been doing spiritual rituals or practices, but you haven't been following them through with consistent action, somebody really is having a hard time communicating, because it's affecting my speech. That can be another symbol and another sign when conflict's happening. It's hard for you to speak your piece. Maybe somebody doesn't allow you, and so you stutter a lot. You could also be somebody with a cis, or that tends to stutter on occasion when nervous or mad, especially when mad. But it's time to work on all the elements. So it's time to work on your physical well-being, your mental well-being, and your spiritual well-being simultaneously. No tit for tat anymore. Remember, I told you guys, for those of you who are my regulars, we're in the year of the 5. This is the blade and the rose. It's time to really be precise and have precision. So yes, resilience is here for you. Yes, that's actually resonating. I'm picking up on root chakra, solar plex and root chakra are coming in very strong. So some of you are having an issue with really feeling centered And that's going to be a key thing to focus on. So for those of you who meditate, and some of you getting into meditation is key here, there's different ways to meditate. You can be active or passive, but getting into a practice that makes you have to sit with yourself and really get in tune with yourself is key here for this group, for this pile. But it's important to focus on things that bring in clarity towards that part of you. For others, there's womb space. Some of you are divine feminines that you're trying to conceive, and your womb space needs a lot of healing. That can mean many different things. That could be a trigger for some of you. Sometimes womb space needs healing just because of our mentality towards our own womb space, towards our own sacred place. For some of you, this could be yoni steaming. This could be pearls. This could be yoni eggs. Do what you're led to. I can't give you, professional advice on that because that's like medical, and legally they don't let me do that. But I would recommend that some of you guys look into that you research yoni steams, yoni eggs, work the muscles in that area, but also meditate on your womb space. Acknowledge your sacred womb space. Acknowledge it. That's very important. It's hard to create life in a place that feels so void of anything that's cheerful. And sometimes even when you do create it, there's complications. We're living in that age where more and more women are realizing that their mentality is creating a problem. You may be led to do a soul session. If so, understand soul sessions are very different than readings with me. They're very different. And it comes with a 21-day plan and etc. But I do feel like that you need to have some personal things cleared out. And don't let some of the other stuff in life fall into place before you try to put so much pressure on your body, because whoever's channeling in with this energy, you already put a lot of pressure on yourself mentally. And what you think is what you will manifest. Bear that in mind. For others, you could be expecting a child, and you might be having a child with somebody that you really don't want to deal with, but it's kind of like too late to cry over spilled milk with that situation. So it's still about getting yourself grounded. Whoever's pulling your buttons or pushing your buttons, pulling your hair, you can't keep letting this affect you. First of all, you can't keep putting yourself in the position to have that button pushed in the first place. Triggers are not meant for you to hold on to. My regulars know this. I preach it to y'all all the time. Triggers are meant to be faced. What's the problem? Why is it there? Why is this an issue? How can I fix it? And then you cleanse it out and you let it go. You let it. It doesn't matter what it is, because somebody's trying to argue. You let it go. Yes, I can hear you. I hear you arguing. Let it go. You see where you are right now when you go back and forth about it. But had you let it go, the first couple of times that people were telling you to do that, people that you trust and that you know you can rely on, you wouldn't really be in the predicament that you're in right now. Sometimes y'all need it blunt like that. Okay? But there's definitely a major blessing and a major turn coming into play here. There's a changing of colors, like a changing of the winds, a changing of the times, but you got to be resilient with it coming in. Let's get into what the root chakra message is. I only pulled one card, but again, I was picking up on root, solar plex, and sacral. And we have root chakra. And it's a rose, so somebody could love roses. You may have roses around your home, or maybe you have a parent that likes roses. And the message here is, I am at home. I want you guys to maybe, if you can, see if my camera's focusing. I want you guys to take a picture of that and maybe put it on your phone, or, put it on your mirror. It can be a part of your mirror work. And it says, I am at home in my own life. All is well in my world. I want you guys to do those kind of meditations for your other sacral spaces as well. Feel comfortable in your skin. Feel comfortable in what you are. You are you. And can't nobody do you better than you. I'm feeling like some of you guys feel like the car goes off the road. I'm seeing two different images, so it's two different analogies for some of you. For some of you, it's like a car's going off a road, almost like someone makes a sharp turn. And then for another person, it's like they're on a train and the tracks keep switching. Like the train keeps getting derailed onto a different path or a different track. Sometimes rejection is your protection. And you probably have heard that before, but you needed to hear it again. Other times it's your own thoughts and what you're allowing that's derailing some of your plans. So you got to make that decision that you're going to keep driving on that road and that you're going to face what appears before you. that you're not going to try and take a shortcut, or even sometimes take a super long way around just to avoid. Because again, this blending in energy that came in here, this like I don't really want to be seen, but I know I have to participate, but I don't want to participate kind of energy. You can't take the long way around to avoid, and you can't take a quick sharp turn for no good reason. You have to decide. You're driving that car. You're in charge of where that train's going to go. Let's see what the fortune cookie has to say. What's the divine trying to tell you with all these messages? Wow. Well, there you go. And notice the sun up there, solar plex energy. I'm picking up on Leo, Sagittarius, and Pisces, an emotional Pisces. So these could be in your chart, or again, it could be the attributes and the attitudes of those signs. You're being told to stay on track. I feel like somebody pulled a fortune cookie that said something like that. Like y'all ordered out DoorDash or something like that, and that came out. So you might be freaking out a bit. Let's roll some dice. Let's see what numbers pop up. These numbers could be important to you for different reasons. Again, you take what resonates. We have 6, 3, 12, 4, 111, 7, and 80. So that's 8. And those are your dice. All right, pile 1. I pray that that resonates with you, sending you blessings and healing. Peace, love, and light. Okie dokie, pile number 2. Let's get into hey you. Chose this beautiful tiger's eye. We're going to move it right here. I like to normally keep it in the shot. We're going to get into the tarot, the chakra, and then we're going to get into your fortune cookie card. So starting off with the tarot, we have the Star card. Ooh, somebody needs to recognize their blessing, first of all. Somebody needs to recognize, somebody's not recognizing their blessing. They're not recognizing their own power. And it's time that you do. It's time that you cleanse yourself and accept all of that divine energy that you're manifesting in and that's coming in. It's time that you start to accept those intuitive messages and downloads that you're getting, because you do get many and plenty, okay? Have confidence in that. Sometimes the words associated on some of these cards that come with words are for y'all for a reason. The rest is, you know, everything before I pull the cards is channel messages. So somebody here, you might have been getting some cleansings, whether this is a detox cleanse or some type of spiritual ritual cleanse. I'm just feeling somebody constantly washing water over themselves. And that's also what the star card is about. It's about that cleansing in order to be prepared for what's manifesting from the heavens, from the cosmos to earth. And realizing that you're that beacon of light. That star that comes in is your North Star, and it'll take you to where you need to be. It'll bring in what you needed to bring in, but you have to accept the message and the download that it's giving to you. I'm seeing heart energy in my mind right now. Somebody has a lot of heart healing to do. A lot of issues with whether it's heartbreak or just disappointments. A lot of times it's just disappointments. Not everybody has some guy that broke their heart all the time. It's just that every time they've really put their heart into working on something, it seems to cave through. It leads to depression. It leads to that, why does everything I do cave mentality? And the first thing you want to do, switch the mentality. Y'all know I get on y'all about that for my regular, switch the mentality. But yeah, there's this, I keep hearing like a boom, 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 like someone's heart needs to be started again. The visual I'm seeing here is it's almost like there's a hand holding a heart. There's a hand pretty much like gripping a heart like this, trying to get it to pump again. So there may be somebody in your life that's trying to get you to see the wonder of who you are, and you're pretty much like dismissing it. In a sense, you're putting it to the side, ignoring them a little bit here. The divine sees that. The divine sends you people for a reason. Sometimes I want to be clear too, because you hear sayings like, oh, you know, everything happens for a reason. So sometimes the people who come in our life it's the divine setting us up. And a lot of times it's our own energy. Your higher self will send you a lesson, period, because it knows you. So it'll send someone that can trigger you to say, pay attention here. Someone has a lot of intuitive knowledge. You could be a reader yourself, or you could just be someone who, again, we're all psychic. Some of us, we're just we've always been more in tune, or we've become more in tune, and we're that way so we can help others go through the same process. I always tell you guys, I'm not here to tell you what to do. I'm here for your clarity and a bit of guidance so that you can at least have a better idea of what you're dealing with. But your decisions, your choices, nobody else can claim responsibility for them but you. But sometimes in this world, things are so whimsical, things are so crazy, there's so much information coming from so many different places that it's easier to question oneself, and it's easier to question the signs, and sometimes it's easier to want to believe that every sign is leading to something that it may not be leading to. So being able to have people that you can genuinely trust who have that gift to look in and channel and tell you what's being seen is important. I'm a psychic medium. I'm a channeler. So the cards are here to help you see what I'm seeing in my mind's eye. And spiritually, I'm seeing that a lot of you, there are things you should be way more confident in, and you're not. And you're getting all these, for lack of a better word right now, downloads about stuff, and you're brushing it off or you're ignoring it. It's almost like you're putting yourself down. Oh, I'm not like such and such, so I couldn't see that. It's like somebody, maybe, I don't want to say like an inspiring reader, but let's say, you know, friends come to you all the time with advice, and when you help them, 8 out of 10, 9 out of 10, it works. But then when it comes to yourself, you make up all these rules of how it's not going to work. Trust me, I understand. Right? You make up, like, because it just seems when it comes to you, life does different. But if I was to say to you, have you really sat down and paid attention to all of the signs in front of you? And if we were to really work on that, we'll probably find that you haven't been. We'll probably find that you've been making excuses to ignore certain messages that are coming in. I don't care if it's through dreams, through riding past a store and seeing a certain number, seeing a certain flower, and then looking up the meaning, whatever it may be for you. You're being told, especially when it comes to when you feel that you're in your darkest hour, tap into those gifts. Do not be afraid of them. Some of you might come from family that's used to mystic arts, but it's so far removed now. It's like something, you know, you heard like way back in the day, like your great grandma did some stuff, you know, or that you have like shaman lineage. Maybe you come from a culture where that's obvious, but you're not immersed in that, and you might want to be, but you're not confident in it. Don't let the divine have to knock you upside the head, because I know sometimes y'all like to think everything is sugar coated, but please believe that if spirit deems it necessary, if your own higher self deems it necessary, you will get smacked upside the head with a situation, with a tower moment, whatever it takes to get you to wake up and realize. Because I want you to understand, there's no such thing as an insignificant thought. You're manifesting your reality every single moment of every single day. I'm not saying that to you to make you nervous, but I am saying that to you to say, how many times have you checked yourself when you've allowed yourself to think negative about your own gifts, your own thoughts, your own situations, what you deserve, how people treat you? How many times have you tolerated something that you shouldn't have because you thought either that's what you deserve, or at least you didn't deserve much better than it? Right? Come on now. Come on, y'all know who you are. Don't be shy now. Right? So let that heart pump again. Let that energy start coming in again. Allow yourself to tap into a level of confidence that you never knew you had before. And please understand, there's a difference between conceited, confident. Two different things. Ego, confidence, two different things. Right? Pride has many different levels to it. You can take pride in acknowledging who you are. I feel like you should give yourself a pat on the back for how far you've come thus far. The key to understanding the star is realizing that your dreams will stay just dreams until you actually do them and make them reality. It's not that they can't come real, but you got to put in the work to make them real. We spent enough time on that. Let's see what the chakra has to say. Look at that. I trust myself. Again, for this group, I'm going to say y'all might want to screenshot that. I trust myself and my intuition. Your higher self is talking to you. I can say that, you know, the star card was like a joint message, but I'm saying that this card right here, it's your higher self saying, first of all, acknowledge me, acknowledge what I'm capable of doing, okay? Right? So I want you guys to focus on communicating your heart. because the heart energy hasn't left yet. But we have blue here, and blue is about communication. It's the throat chakra. You have a hard time communicating your true feelings, or at least you don't feel confident in doing it. And it's necessary that you first start doing this with self. Just like I said with another group, if you feel the need to book a soul session, I would recommend that for some of you that's in this group, if you're moved to, if you led to, because I feel like for you, it's about building up that confidence of who you are and really getting into a practice with it. You're always responsible for whether or not you stick to a practice, right? You're always responsible for whether or not you actually take into account what a person's being led to share with you to do. But this group has a lot of really powerful energy that you just need to allow yourself to express. So start off with something small, right? All levels. Don't just do affirmations and then that's it. Do something physical. Get moving. Do something that helps you to back that affirmation, right? From a spiritual standpoint, there's mudras, there's mantras, there's all these different things that you can do to get yourself to be fully aligned simultaneously. And work on looking in the mirror and communicating with yourself. I do a lot of mirror work with people, and I do it very different. I cater it to whoever my client is. But it's something that a lot of people tend to need. Get used to having a conversation with yourself. Don't be afraid if you hear a thought, talk back. That's just your higher self. But make sure that you're paying attention, that it's not the shadow side. Because you got to face your shadow side. Sometimes the shadow gets used to dealing with a lot of gook, so it talks a lot of trash, right? Because it's used to, I always tell you guys, your shadow side was your first protector. So it absorbed all the things you couldn't handle. And eventually, it can go rogue. Shadow doesn't always have to mean something horrifying either, or something dark. Sometimes it can just mean what's in the hidden. And for many of you, it's your talent that's in the hidden. But it can also be a shadow side of yourself that's putting you down about it. It's those voices from other people that you've now adopted as your own. And that shadow part of you, if it continues to go rogue, it starts to show itself more and more with the environment that you're in. So I want you to work on communicating well to yourself, and then work on communicating well to the people around you, particularly people that you can trust. If you feel you don't have people you can trust and believe the divine will bring you who you can, and allow space for that to come in. If you've ever trusted people you shouldn't before, go on, brush your shoulders off. That was a lesson. Take the lesson. Keep it moving. Let go of triggers. You're not meant to hold on to them. You're meant to face them, realize why they're there, where they came from, and then release them. Because triggers are like a ball and chain on you until you do that. Okay, let's get into your fortune cookie. I don't need to say nothing else. Look at that. I don't need to say nothing else. There you go. And for some of you, again, this night energy, we have the night energy with the star, and we have the night energy with the moon. And I was just talking about the hidden. The moon represents both our intuitive nature that's both in the light and the hidden, right? The high priestess sits between the gates of worlds. So I want you guys to take this into consideration, because high priestess energy is coming in here. This is a very intuitive energy I'm picking up with this group right now. And I'm picking up on many different signs, earth signs, fire signs. Taurus is coming in, Virgo's coming in, Pisces coming in. Pisces came in one of the other pick a cards, so you may want to watch one of the other ones. I'm picking up on it feels like Sagittarius, and it feels like Capricorn. A lot of heavy Capricorn energy. So this could be in your chart, or this could just be the attributes of those signs can be something that contributes to what you need to do, or what's been the hindrance, and etc. But again, start to learn to trust yourself. Work on exercises and practices that help you to build your intuition and to trust your guidance. And don't be afraid to get mentorship. If you are led to a reader to get a reading and you've really allowed yourself to tap in, you can always look, you're always supposed to use your discernment. Again, we're not here to tell you what to do. We're here to give you a little guidance, to give you some clarity with as much accuracy as the divine will allow us. And guess what? There are still going to be some things that you're just meant to figure out when the moment comes. There's always meant to be a certain level of the unknown, because you're meant to develop, and you can't develop without experience. And in order to have experience, you must allow yourself to walk in untreaded waters. Okay? But with that being said, Don't be afraid for mentorship. Don't let anyone make you feel like you can't do that. Don't make anyone make you feel like that's a problem, but make sure that you are tapping into your intuition. That could be a great exercise for your intuition. Just learn to trust yourself. Let's roll some dice. Okay, we have 7. July may be important for somebody. We have 222. Ooh, that one flipped. It was on 90? No, 60. We have 60. We have 4. The 7 got flipped in it. They always do that. We have 6, 9. We have 9. Where's that 6? I can't tell. I think it's 9. We have 2 9s and a 1. Somebody could be born in September. Someone else, June and July could be important for you. Someone's life path number. These, take the numbers how they resonate for you. And pow 2. That was your reading. Peace, love, and light, beautiful soul. Okay, group 3, we finally get to you. Much love to all of you that may have been watching all of them up to this point. Prior to recording the reading, there were certain energies that were already channeling in. For those of you used to my channel, you know that that's how this works. So we're going to see what energy channels in now for this group. We're going to start off with the tarot, work our way to the chakra, and then get to the fortune cookie. And remember, if you wish to do an energy exchange through PayPal or Cash App, you can do so. Getting into the first card, we have King of Swords. First of all, yes, communication. Ooh, somebody has to communicate with a lot more conviction. With a lot more conviction than they may have been allowing. Communication in the collective energy has been popping up a lot, not only in the sense of, oh, somebody's coming in to talk to you, but in the sense of like, how are you engaging and talking to others? How are you conveying your feelings? Are you being shady? Are you being direct? What's happening? I'm feeling like someone has, again, this energy of communicating the heart, like really communicating from the heart. What are you really feeling, and not being afraid of that, not being afraid to be open and honest with yourself, and then be open and honest with the person that you're trying to convey or communicate to. And this person could be anybody. This reading isn't set up as a love reading. This pick a pile is for whatever. So whomever may have popped in your mind intuitively, make sure you're separating opinion from intuition. Whoever might have popped in your mind that this could be in reference to, this could just be within people, with people in general. There's a lot of protecting energy around you, both physically and spiritually. Maybe the physical part hasn't manifested itself before you yet, but it's coming in. There's a baboon here, and baboons can be known for guarding sacred places. So I feel like there's a lot of protection when it comes to your energy on a sacred level. Somebody could be praying for you and you don't even know it. Someone could be wishing you all the best in the world, and they just don't say it to you out loud, and so you're not as aware of it. I'm seeing a gradient here, and those of you used to my channel, I read the gradient. So whenever I'm seeing that fade effect between two colors energetically, and then I see it come out in confirmation on a card, it's saying that you're either in that in-between space, or again, you want to learn to blend a little bit more. You want to learn how to be able to convey your heart with, again, there's this need to be have more conviction in what you say. But I'm also feeling like, yes, there is a task that you need some discipline with here. So that word is standing out to me. Some of you are already owning your power, but you might be a little too much in your head space when you do it. So when you're communicating, it's from your head. It's thoughts, right? Versus feeling, being emotionally open. It's more like overthinking. I'm picking up on Libra, the fickle side of Libra and Gemini, actually. So there's Libra and Gemini here. Libra, that's a bit imbalanced. When Libras are imbalanced, all hell breaks loose. So it's very important that you get yourself in balance. You come up out of your head so much and allow yourself to express from your heart more. Again, communication and heart expression has been coming out in the collective a lot. I'm also feeling that for some of you, you might, your heart your heart's been through a lot with a lot of different situations. There's no one person, no one thing. And that makes you sort of shut down. You sort of shut the heart out. So it's not that you want to think only from your head. It's just that you don't want your heart to get abused or misused. So you kind of turn it off for a minute. And you're being told, you know, your freedom comes when you allow yourself to be all of yourself. And when you speak your truth. Swords and thoughts represent truths. And truths are an element in all of the different elements in their own way. But when the air is clear, we think clearly, right? When we feel that we can breathe, we express, feel grateful for our breath. But when we start to feel that tightening of the throat, someone gets a lot of tightening in the throat, almost like a hand tightening. And that happens whenever you feel anxious or nervous, your anxiety kicks in. These are signs of areas that need healing, of areas that represent what physically happens to the body when you're triggered. So it's important that you work on that. You work on, start again. I keep telling you guys, learn to communicate with yourself. Start having a conversation with self. If you need a soul session for that, that's fine. If you need a reading to get a little bit more insight on maybe what it is that you need to communicate with yourself, you can do that. It's your choice. You're always responsible for your decisions and your actions and reactions to things. But I feel like sometimes some of you in this group just feel very overwhelmed in one of two of those areas too much, and you're being told, okay, now's the time to train yourself to be more disciplined in how you communicate your heart and not to be so stuck in the head. But keep strategizing. The King of Swords is a great person at strategy. He blueprints. Well, I don't want to use this as an example because in this group, I'm not feeling like too many of you are in like some type of battle per se right now with someone. Some of you may be, but that's not what I'm picking up on. But you have to understand the King of Swords is the King of Swords. So in order to master that art, in order to master the art of combat, he has to be really good at blueprinting and having reflexes to the moves that he's blueprinted. So it's like blueprinting the field to know how the battle may go. And then when it's time to face someone one-on-one, he has to have his thought clear enough that he can move and flow with the wind in order to counter the other person. For whatever reason, that had to be said that way. Somebody needed to hear it that way. Let's get into your chakra. Look, heart energy. We have a pink rose. Look at that. I love myself and expand this love out into the world. What was I just saying? Boom. I just love when stuff comes together for y'all like that. Right? I just love it. Somebody's favorite color may be pink, or seeing like a creamy white flower, but I'm not sure what kind of flower that is. It's not a rose. It's not a, oh, I don't know how to describe that. I kind of wish I had like a, sort of wish I could project the image into all of your minds, but that would take a lot of energy work, and ain't nobody got time for that. But it's a white flower. It's kind of like it's peeled, almost like a peeled flower. So that's important to somebody. That may mean something. Someone, I've been picking up on that a lot too. People liking a lot of flowers, or this could mean that you need plants in your atmosphere. I don't care if you're not a plant person. I just heard somebody say, but I'm not a plant person. I don't care about that. You need plants in your atmosphere. Okay? And you can do what you want. But I said what I said for a reason, and I heard your thought for a reason. So I'm just saying, whatever plant you're led to, but you need something in your space that helps to create oxygen. And I want you to understand too, flowers reflect your energy back to you. So if you're taking care of a flower and it's hard to maintain it, sometimes that's letting you know where your energy is or how too much in one area you are, because plants need love, care, and nourishing. And when you talk to them and you sing to them, it helps them grow. You know, it's like the water technique. So some of you might need something like that so that you have a visual to what's going on. Let's get into your fortune cookie. Did I not say something about freedom earlier in this reading? Freedom awaits you. And notice the colors here. We have the greens and the blues, just like in this image. We also have solar plex energy here as well, right? I feel like somebody needs to do sun work. That's when, so sun work, for some of you who don't know, you choose the moment that the UV rays in the sun are at the lowest, and you look at the sun. Some people do it 5 minutes, 10 minutes. Some of you might only be able to do like 2 or 3 when you first start. Sometimes people rapidly blink and try to, because when we blink, that's how we got the idea for taking pictures. Actually, when we blink, our mind is taking like a photograph shot of what we see. So sun work helps to clear the pretty much the buildup that's around the third eye in our skull. So you might need to actually do that. Some of you might need to get out into nature, into a country area, or you live near a country area. That's been coming through a lot as well. So some of you may not be commenting, but some of y'all from the country, and y'all be sitting up here getting the same message. You know, you could be somewhere from the Midwest, or you could be from a place, you might live in a city, but you're not far from an area that's similar to what you see in this image right here. But freedom awaits you as long as you choose to flow into it, step into it. Okay, what dice numbers do we have for you? We have 4, 2, oop, that changed, it was on 3. I didn't get it to go back to 3. There we go. Oh, really? Okay, well, it must want to be on 7. So 7, that was another 4. If they flip over, they must want to flip over. We have 4, 4, 4. We have 60, which is 6. And then we have the 2. These can be your life path numbers. These could be days or months that are important. Could be in your chart or your person's chart or someone close to you. Doesn't have to be a romantic person. And group 3, my loves, that was your reading. I pray that that resonated with you. It gave you some clarity and much needed guidance. If you wish to have a personal reading, more personal detailed answers that the divine allows me to give you, of course, you can book via my website. If you wish to have a soul session, you can also book that via my website. I should have 3 slots open again soon. They tend to go, so I recommend that you guys, I'm gonna start posting when they're open on my IG, but they'll be open soon. You can always book one with me, and I'll let you guys know if 3 fill up that fast after this reading, because it just kept coming through to mention soul sessions for some of you. But without further ado, my loves, that was your reading. Blessings.